very pleased to welcome Jonathan Kestenbaum from Nesta, who's going to lead us in what I'm sure is going to be a fascinating debate and how we actually make this all happen.
Thanks very much, Paul, and thank you, John. And the first contradiction of a panel like this, because you'll need it, is certainly not to lead, but I hope to facilitate and I hope to moderate a conversation between the audiences and the panel, and I guess my task is to start by ignoring the whispers to my right.
It's quite important, because I'm very pleased to welcome the Prime Minister.
Fantastic. We couldn't have staged that better.
I wanted to come from the calm of the House of Commons to say what an important day this is. This is an important day for science, it's an important day for our whole education system, it's an important day for people who do research in great new areas, and it's an important day for our country. And I think what we're trying to do today, and I'm pleased that so many people are here this evening, I'm pleased that so many companies are exhibiting, is get across to the public that never has science been more important to our future. Never has the investment that we want to put into science been greater, and never has the dialogue between the government and the scientific community been so strong, because we believe of the importance of science to our future. And I know over the last 10 years or so, some of us have been worried, because as science is reported in our newspapers, you see reports about animal experimentation, you see reports about stem cell research, you see reports about GM food. And most of the reporting in our newspapers on science has therefore not been about the great joys of discovery and not been about the great liberating force of science, but often been about disputes either within the scientific community or between the scientific community and the rest of the public. And I believe we've got a chance now to get across to a new generation of young people just how important science is to our future. I see in the exhibition, as I've come through it, so many different things that are being done that are so innovative. This morning I met people from a wide range of occupations who were fascinated by the importance of science. In time we will see more young people wanting to take up science simply as a result of reading some of these adverts in the newspaper this morning about how science is important to the lives of all of us. And I believe that if for years we have undervalued the importance of scientific achievement and scientific innovation, we're now entering a new era when the absolute crucial centrality of science to our future is being recognised. If you take this global economy over the next 20 years, whatever's happening in this year or next year, there's going to be a doubling of growth throughout the world. That's twice as many opportunities for firms, it's twice as many opportunities for people. The new consumers in China and India and Asia will be demanding new products and new services. And the countries that will be succeeding will be these countries that invest and can show that they have value-added products and services that are based on technological advance and scientific innovation. And whatever has been our successes in the past, the opportunities for the future are even greater than we were now. And there are people here today, who have contributed to us being second only to the United States of America in scientific achievement and scientific research. There are people here today who have shown how it's possible to apply our science and translate it into new products and new services that are on offer to people. But I think everybody here today is here because we believe in that importance that I attach to science for the whole future of our country. So we will continue our investment in science. We are doubling it, as you know. Paul is leading a new task force with John Denham that is putting science right at the heart of what we're doing in government. As we come through this downturn, it is the digital, the creative, the green, but most of all the scientific industries and products that will determine whether we are successful in the future. Edison, as you know, invented the light bulb. And Edison was blamed for having 100 failures. He tried to patent it 100 times and failed. And he said, he was asked at the end of it, well, you've had 100 failures. And he said, no, these were 100 steps to success. And that is how we should look at the process of invention and innovation in science. And let me just say the importance we attach to scientists themselves. And there are scientists here who work in companies and universities and work in every part of our country. There's a story told of Montgomery when he's addressing the troops in the 1940s before the Battle of Alamein. And he went round his troops and he said to them, what's the most important... Montgomery, by the way, wasn't a modest man. When he was asked who were the three greatest generals in history, he said the other two were Alexander the Great and Napoleon. But he was going round his troops and he was asking them, what's the most important thing you have? And some of them said the kit and the guns and the air support, and some of them said the tanks and everything else. And he said, no, the most important thing we have is you. And that is true of science. It is the most important thing we have, are the skills, the aspirations, the inventiveness, and the genius of our scientists. And we rely on you, not just for our scientific future, but for our economic and social future as well. We've just seen a presidential inauguration in the United States of America. It's absolutely fascinating to see what has happened. Harry Truman was the President of the United States 60 years ago. And he had on his desk, as some people will remember from the history books, this nameplate which said, "The buck stops here." And we certainly know that that is true when you're in positions like he was. But actually, he had a second nameplate on his desk, which he looked at every day, not just "The buck stops here," but it was "Always do right." This will encourage your friends and will totally amaze everybody else. Always do right. Invest in science. Make sure that young people are encouraged to do science, and make sure that from this difficult time that we are facing, we recognise that our only future is by investing in our future, and the future that we must invest in is one where science and technology plays its full place in our society. And I hope to continue to work with you to achieve that over the next few years. Thank you very much.